Hello, and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. Happy Halloween! Today is Halloween 2019. Hopefully you're having a great Halloween so far, and hopefully you will be safe if you go trick-or-treating or take your kids trick-or-treating or your siblings or whatever this evening. So how's everybody doing today? You excited about Halloween? I kind of am. We don't get a whole lot of trick-or-treaters here in our condo, so it's not all that exciting. My wife decorates the house. It's pretty nice. Anyway, let's get into some PC building. Let's hop in our emails here and see what we have going on for today. Also, this decoration, I don't know how long it's going to be around in the game, but this will be the last time I'm recording with it because my recording software kind of hates it. I normally get a file that's somewhere around 2 to 3 gigs in size for recording, and the last recording I did with this, it was like 12 gigs, so I'm not really sure why it decides to use so much space, but this will be the last time I record using this Halloween theme. So, anywho, let's, what is it that Tim wants? Tim wants 10 grand. Let's give Tim 10 grand. Make him happy. You now own 30% of Tim's Red Hot Repairs. I think we might be able to change the name to something else. Of course, Tim now wants more money, but what's new? What's new with family, right? Alright, let's get into this email here. It says, you work with computers, right? I need some repairs. Whatever's broken, you'll have to have a look at it to work out what's happened. It's just completely dead. Nothing happens when I try to turn it on. There's not much air coming out of the back. Could it be blocked? Those braided white cables look really nice. I think I clicked on something bad. So, we'll have to figure out what is wrong with Charles's PC. He wants some white cables. I will try to remember to put those in. Let's go ahead and accept that one. Let's see what's going on with the Queen here. This email says, one hates to be the bearer of bad news, but one's rig is once again in need of repair. But it wasn't the corgis this time. A lady in waiting spilled a full pot of tea over the machine while one was using it. It almost seemed deliberate, but one can't imagine why. Although it's true that it's becoming quite difficult to tear oneself away from the games, and one's official engagements are beginning to suffer somewhat. Only the other day, there was a missed meeting with the Dutch Prime Minister. But you must understand, one was top of the leaderboard. One cannot allow scrubs and noobs free reign over one server without retaliation. Anyway, kindly make the necessary repairs. One would very much like to get back to the game. Her Royal Highness, the Queen. So, diagnose and fix, and a 3D Mark score of 7,000. Why do I feel like the Queen maybe broke her graphics card or something? Let's go ahead and accept that. And then let's take a look at this build. It says, hey, would you be able to build me a new computer? Performance-wise, can you aim for a benchmark of 8774? I saw the CPU can run as fast as 4900 megahertz. I need it before tomorrow. I'm a total Arctic fanboy. I heard you guys put used parts in PCs. Please don't do that. So let's go ahead and accept that one. I'm going to hop into the shop, get a build put together for this, and I will be right back. So for this build, we're going to go with an ASRock Z390 Extreme 4 motherboard, an i7 9700K, an Arctic Freezer 33 Esports Edition, 2 sticks of HyperX Predator DDR4, 8 gig 3200 MHz, a Zotac 1080 Ti, a Corsair 750 watt power supply, a 4 terabyte hard drive, a 960 gig M.2, and we're going to put it in the Corsair Carbide Series Air 740 case. Let's go ahead and purchase this for next day delivery. Let's go end our day. We can get our parts as well as our repairs in, and we can get to work. All right. So So let's get these parts. Ooh, a water-cooled Vega 56. That must be from PC Bay. Let's get all this stuff up onto a workbench. I haven't built in this case yet, so hopefully everything I purchased will fit. But let's get started with this filthy one here that looks like it definitely needs some compressed air. So we'll start by blowing it clean. Maybe. There we go. It's starting to do something. All right. So I think this was the one they said nothing happens when you try to power it, and that is very true. Let's go ahead, pull this other side off. Let's take a look at the power supply first. See if that happens to be the culprit. Save us a lot of time trying to diagnose other things. If it's just a power supply, it sure is. 1000-watt Silverstone power supply. I don't happen to have one of those. So let's go order one. Power supply. Silverstone. Do they have more than one? The 1000 or was it 1100 watts? Nope, there's 1000. This is probably it. Oh, it looks like from last episode when it wasn't showing things in our inventory, it looks like the update that I received today maybe has fixed that. I wonder if it also fixed being able to... No. Well, at least not for that. You used to be able to click on things and it would take you to another page. Let's add that to our cart. Let's hop in here real quick and just make sure that's the right... Oh, it's not going to show me the power supply. Of course not. Okay. Just out of curiosity, let's hop into the cases. Nope, still can't go into them. All right, well, let's double check that I got the right power supply. Yep. I only have one in my inventory. Let's go see what's wrong with the Queen's PC. It gets no power either. At least this way we can order everything at once. Let's see if her power supply is dead. Oh, let's get this ring off of here. Let's do it from this side. Let's take a look. Nope, nothing's wrong with that. Let's reinstall it. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Let's see if it happens to be a graphics card. I shouldn't keep it from starting, though. Scroll down here to the bottom. The graphics card looks good. Could be the motherboard. Let's pull the RAM. Let's see if it happens to be the RAM. RAM looks good. Well, can I pull the CPU, please? Thank you. Let's see if it happens to be the CPU. Looks like her 9900K is broken. Don't happen to have another one in stock, so we'll have to order one of those. Let's check the motherboard as well while we're here. We've already made it this far. Let's pop the motherboard out and just make sure we don't need to order one of those while we're at it. Let's also check her M.2. Looks good. Motherboard is also broken, so let's go order another motherboard, and another 9900K. And Z390 board. And hers was the black NZXT. So let's add one of those. Also get a 9900K. How much money is the Queen giving us here? $650. That's interesting. So she's not giving us enough money to fix the problem. So what happens if we put something less than a 9900K back in there? What do we have in our inventory? Do we have anything that we could try out? We have a 9700K. We've got an 8700K. 9700Ks, I think, are $420. That could fit into the budget, maybe. Before we order a processor, let's try out some of what we got now. Let's go ahead and order these, though, for same-day delivery. We can start putting the Queen's computer back together a little bit. We can go ahead and get this one finished off. We'll get this new power supply in. Let's sell off that broken one. I think he wanted white plastic cables. I'm gonna have to check. Braided white cables. Braided. Let's do braided. Ribbon braided. Sleeved braided. Let's do ribbon. Let's actually remove, see if we can't get all these cables to be the same color. There we go. See if it will power up for us now. Okay. Let's get a USB installed in here. And we can get our virus scanner installed. And check this computer for viruses, because I think he said he had visited some bad websites or something. So let's restart that and get it ready to scan for viruses. Okay. Let's see what we get here. 401. Nice. Let's clean that up. This is good to go. Let's get the side panels put back on. And we can get this thing out of our hair. Oops. And out into the hall. There we go. Let's put it out here in the hallway. Let's start putting the Queen's PC back together here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get this motherboard in. Trying to remember what she had for RAM. It's so dark with this Halloween theme. Some of this stuff is hard to see. Could just be my old eyes. Let's try, not an 8700. It's a non-K. Let's try it. Let's pop it in there. We get her RAM and stuff back installed. We can run a 3D Mark test and see if it comes close or if it gets, back to what she had. Let's get her M.2 back in. Let's get our graphics card. Pretty sure it was that 1080 Ti. Let's get some thermal paste. What did she have for a cooler? With this cryo rig. Let's cable this back up. I think we have purple for the queen. Let's cable everything up. We can run a 3D Mark test and see if we get 7,000 score. We don't want to boot from that. And if not, then we can play around with some other CPUs and see what we get. Then we can just order whatever it is we need for her. So I'm going to let this run. As soon as it's done, I'll come back. We'll take a look at the score and decide what we need to do from there. All right, so there you have it. 8252. We needed a score of 7,000. Inferior CPU installed. The problem is I don't have what she needs. I mean, we're going to go over budget if I order another 9,900K. Well, let's just do it. I mean, it is the queen. I guess she gets her queen's discount? I don't know. Let's go ahead. Purchase that. Same day. It's kind of interesting. I haven't actually had one. That required the exact same CPU, but didn't give you enough money to purchase it. Whoops. Let's get her cooler back on here. Let's cable it up. Let's power it on. I mean, yeah, we're $355 over. So, all right, well, I'm going to let this run again. We'll get the score, and we will finish up this build as soon as this is done running. All right, so there you have it, 8582. We're just way over on cost, but let's go ahead. Get all of this case put back on, and we can get this out in the hallway and find out what's going to happen with being that much over budget. All right, let's get working on our build. Let's pull this case apart, see what we're working with here. It's hard to tell, it's so dark. Okay. Let's get our motherboard in, the ASRock Z390 Extreme 4. Let's get this ready for RAM and CPU. Let's get rid of that broken. Oops. Not the 8700, the 9700K. That's what's going in there. As well as this HyperX Predator RAM. Let's get some stuff out of our way. This is getting M.2. I think I saw, yep, space for hard drives on this side here. We'll get that installed. Let's go ahead and get some thermal paste on here. This is getting an air cooler. We can go ahead and install that. Go ahead and get the graphics card. This is Zotac 1080 Ti. Man, that is a thick card. Thing's almost three wide. That is crazy. Okay. Let's get the Corsair power supply. I think we're ready to cable this up. It's hard to tell what colors are going on in here, but let's go with some white cabling. Get everything cabled up. We'll get a USB drive in. We can power this on. Hop into the BIOS. Ooh, this is a very nice looking BIOS. Let's turn XMP on. Make sure it's booting to the right drive. Okay. So let's get 3D Mark on here. That HyperX RAM looks nice. This is a pretty sweet case. Okay, let's run 3D Mark. As soon as it's done, I'll come back and show you the score. All right, 89, 83. I think we needed 87 something. What was it? Oh, I never got the sticky note. That would help. So we needed 8774. We definitely beat that. Let's get this case put back together. And we can get it out in the hall and find out how angry the Queen's going to be at us going over budget on her repair. So out in the hall we go. Let's collect some money. So we'll collect that one. See what happens with the Queen. Oh, okay. So we went over budget, but apparently she didn't care. And then the build. Excellent. So we've unlocked some new parts, some new daily deals, and some more emails, which we will get to in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode.